of railroads, you might think of trains, steam engines, and boxcars.
Okay, go!
And here at the Nevada County Narrow Gauge Railroad Museum, they do have all of that. Plus, this thing.
More, hold!
What are we on right now? What is this thing?
This is a rail bus that we're on right now. We can carry 20 people.
Rail buses are pretty much what they sound like. They're gasoline-powered buses with railroad wheels on them. And they're pretty rare, according to docent Specs Lanham.
Absolutely old school, and these kind of conveyances were all built by the chief mechanics in the respective railroad shops. There was not a place you went to buy these.
Rail buses were not usually built to run on larger standard gauge railroads with freight trains. They were generally built to run on smaller tracks called narrow gauge railroads that linked small towns or logging camps to larger main railroads.
And so the Nevada County Narrow Gauge was built to move gold, timber, agriculture, and people down to Colfax from Nevada City and Grass Valley.
Back in the day, Nevada County was industrious, but difficult to get to because of the mountains, and you'll get to experience that on the museum's tour.
And we're going to back up into the meadow doing a maneuver called a switchback, which is how you climb up a mountain. You go forward, back, because you can't go straight over.
The area became much more accessible when brothers John and Edward Coleman invested in the narrow gauge tracks because, unlike standard gauge, it could be built on sharp corners and steep hills.
John Kidder was actually a civil engineer who built the Nevada County Narrow Gauge. And then the Coleman brothers wanted to get out of the business, so they sold it to John and Sarah Kidder.
Fun fact, after John Kidder died, Sarah Kidder became the first woman to actually own and operate a railroad. And this all happened before it was legal for women to vote.
She took over. She was in the office. She paid the dividends. She did the scheduling. She ran the railroad till 1913.
These days, the Nevada County Narrow Gauge Railroad Museum keeps the small track heritage alive by restoring some of the last remaining narrow gauge locomotives.
What are we on now?
We're on engine number 5, an 1875 Baldwin locomotive.
Tim O'Brien is the vice director of the museum and says engine number 5 started out as a logging locomotive near Lake Tahoe, but then it became a movie star.
How many movies has it been in?
We figured about 26, 28 of them.
One of engine number 5's most famous scenes was in an early John Wayne movie called The Spoilers.
In the movie The Spoilers, they commandeered the train from the operators, and John Wayne was running it, and the other guys were firing rifles out the cabs. And they ran it through a big wall and overturned the whole thing.
Hollywood used engine number 5 from the 1940s to the 1970s because narrow gauge tracks were easier to move around to different set locations. After it retired in the 1980s, the museum acquired it and gave the engine a makeover and joined the Railbus as an ambassador for narrow gauge history. From the Nevada County Narrow Gauge Railroad, I'm John Bartell. Hope to see you on the Backroads.